Good morning, students. So we were discussing the chapter working of institutions. Until now, we have discussed that how the major policy decisions are taken. Prime Minister is there, the cabinet ministers are there. Then the discussions are done in the parliament. It is conveyed. The decisions of the cabinet meetings are conveyed to the president. And then we have seen the case of the office memorandum, the story of the office memorandum, how the decisions taken by the cabinet and the prime minister, they are executed, they are implemented by the civil servants. So we have seen the case of the joint secretary who issued the office memorandum on behalf of the Ministry of the Personals, Public Grievances and Pensions in the year 1919. August 13 was the day. Then we have seen that the Mandal Commission report was implemented because of the election manifesto of the Janata Party in 1989. They have said if we will come to power, then we will implement the recommendations of the Mandal Commission, and this was the only recommendation that 27% of reservations in jobs, in the government jobs, should be given to socially and educationally backward classes. So we have seen that the Mandal Commission was uh, set up because of this, formulated because of this only, in order to identify these the criteria to identify this socially, educationally and backward classes and to provide them this reservation. Then we have seen what was the need of the political institutions. So in representative democracy, the different organs are there, so they need to work in coordination. But working with institution, again we have seen it is not easy. So much delays are there, complications are there. So it can be frustrating also to deal with the institutions. Then we have seen the working of various institutions, like prime minister is there and the cabinet. So they help in, or they're responsible for framing of the laws. And then we have seen the civil servants, they implement those policies and laws. And then if any conflict arises, or if we have to provide justice also to people, so judiciary is there. So till here we have discussed, and now the major institution of our country, that is the parliament. Now parliament, we have seen in the case of office memorandum also what was the role of the parliament. We have seen that the report of the Mandal Commission was, the report of the Mandal Commission we have seen was discussed in the parliament only. Then president also given the address to both the houses of the parliament, and then prime minister also informed the parliament about the decision that they are implementing the recommendations of the Mandal Commission. So this we have discussed, that if the pressure was not put in the parliament, then it was not possible for the government to go with the policy implementation of the policy recommendation. Now the question arises, why do we need parliament? Why do we need parliament? So now in all democracies, students, the assembly of elected representatives, they exercise supreme political authorities. That is representative democracy. We elect our representatives, and on our behalf they make the policy decisions and formulate the laws. Now in India, such a national assembly of the elected representatives is called parliament, and at the state level this is called legislative assemblies, legislature, or state legislative assembly. Now in different countries, the different names are there of this parliament. Like we have seen in the case of Russia, it was Duma. Then in the case of Japan, National Diet. And in the case of Germany, Richtag. So different countries, they have different names for their parliament. Like for India, Sansad, our parliament is called Sansad. Now what is the role of the parliament, or why do we need a parliament? So parliament is the final authority for making laws in any country. So the final authority rests with the parliament, and here the parliament all over the world, they can make new laws, they can change the existing laws, they can abolish the laws, they can do amendment in the laws. So the parliament throughout the world, they have a final authority in making laws. So legislative powers, they are the first function of the parliament. Then second is, first lawmaking we have seen. Second, now parliament all over the world exercise some control over who run the government. So now in some countries like India, this control is direct and full, and those who run the government, they can take decision only as long as they enjoy the support of the parliament. So the government, if they enjoy the majority support, then only they will be possible, it will be possible for them, they will be able to make the policy decisions. Then after that, the parliament control all the money the government have, that is, the budget is also approved in the parliament, and in most of the country any of the public money can be sanctioned only by after the approval of the parliament. Then debates and discussions are done in the parliament. It is the highest forum for the public debate and discussions on any public issue or any national policy, and parliament can seek information on any matter from its MP. So the different MPs are there, so they can seek the information. Now we have two houses, the upper house Rajya Sabha, lower house Lok Sabha, or the Council of States is your Rajya Sabha, and your lower house or House of People is your Lok Sabha. So two houses we have, and now I've given you the name. And in Rajya Sabha, the members are indirectly elected by the members of State Legislative Assembly. 6 year is the term, and 233 members are elected, plus 12 are nominated by the President of India. The people who are eminent, those who are eminent personalities in the field of movies, sports, literature, science, languages, so different areas are there. So the eminent personalities who have done excellence in their field, they are nominated by the president as the MPs in the Rajya Sabha. Then this is a permanent house. 6 year is the tenure, and 1/3 of the member retire after every 2 years. So the house is never dissolved. And if we see the Lok Sabha, the members are directly elected through the elections. 543 constituencies we have, plus 2 members are nominated of the Anglo-Indian community if the president feels the community is not being represented adequately. So in that case, the 2 Lok Sabha members are also nominated by the president. Then direct elections I have told you, and the term is 5 years. After 5 years, automatically it stands dissolved. But before the expiry of the term, also it can be dissolved by the president on the recommendations of the prime minister. Now, out of this, which house is powerful? If we go by name, then we will say Rajya Sabha. This is called upper house, so it may be more powerful. But this is not the case. Rajya Sabha do enjoy some special power over the states, because Rajya Sabha members are being elected by the MLAs, so the state legislative assembly. So in that case, they have some special duties towards the federal units or the regional units. But if we see Lok Sabha is having more power than the Rajya Sabha. If we see the ordinary bill also, or if any dispute arises in the ordinary bill, then the joint session will be called of both the houses, and it will be presided by the president. So if deadlock is there, then the joint session will be called, and it will be presided by the president. And obviously the strength of Lok Sabha is more, so the view of the Lok Sabha is likely to prevail. Then in the case of money matters also, the money bill can be introduced in Lok Sabha only, and Rajya Sabha can just delay the money bill by 14 days, and if it is not passed after the 14 days also, it will be considered as passed only. Then the no confidence motion, if the opposition is not happy with any of the policy decision of the government, they can pass the no confidence motion, and if it is passed, the entire council of minister and prime minister, they have to resign. So in that case, the collective responsibility is there of the council of ministers and the prime minister. So in that sense, it is called that the council of ministers, they swim together and they sing together, that is, they work as a team. So this is how we have seen which house is more supreme. Lok Sabha is having more powers than the Rajya Sabha. So now after this, after discussing this, now the next topic which we have to discuss is political executive. Now after the 2 houses, the institution we have done of parliament, 2 houses we have discussed. Now we have to discuss political executive. So political executives are executives which are elected by the people, so they are answerable to the people, and they will change according to the election. When elections will be there, so they will be change in the political executive, and they are just elected for a specified term, that is the 5 year is the tenure. And political executive, they are answerable to the people because they are elected by the people, and they will change when the change in the government will be there, so they will change. On the other hand, we have seen the permanent executives. So permanent executives are appointed by the government. They assist the political executives in implementing and carrying out day-to-day administration. Like the civil servants are there, so they are the permanent executives, and they do not change. They have a long tenure, fixed term, and they do not change with the change in the ruling party, and they do not change with the with the upcoming election and all this thing. So all this IS officer and all the civil servants, being they are being called as the permanent executives. So these are our permanent executives, and we have seen the political executives. So what is the role of permanent executive? They are the expert, they are the knowledgeable people in the field. So they just tell the route to the political executive, that this is a route, on this route you have to work, you have to move, this is all the technical direction, all the information about the technical matters is given provided by the permanent executive. So they will provide the route, the political executive have to move on that route. So this is your political executive and permanent executive.